Saw dudes, I make Destiny 2 content for the most part, but I wanted to go back to my roots in Warframe, a game I have 2,415 hours in. I took a break from the game for about 8 months only because I was getting into Destiny and wanted to wait for Gauss Prime to come out. Anyways, Abyss of Dagath had just released, and you know what that means. We are so back. This review will have minimum spoilers, but if there are any in the video, I will let you know beforehand. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and discuss what makes Warframe so good, and why you should try it if you haven't already. First of all, Warframe is described as a game full of space ninjas. When you look up the term, you literally see images of Warframe and promotional content. It makes sense given that the playable characters, Warframes, play like ninjas. At base, there are 10 forms of movement. There's walking, sprinting, rolling, sliding, jumping, double jumping, bullet jumping, aim gliding, wall running, and wall hanging. With all of these options for traversing the game world, it's not far-fetched to say that Warframe beats out most other games in movement alone. If you thought that was good, you haven't even scratched the surface. All of these options can be chained together to move even faster. When you first start the game, chaining bullet jumps into double jumps, then into rolling might feel jarring. But once you sink a couple of hours in, it becomes second nature, and before you know it, you're traveling faster than you thought you ever could. The movement system in Warframe is easy to pick up and rewards players for mastering it. In missions, you'll find that players are smoothly chaining together all these movement options to complete it in as little time as possible. There are even rooms and dojos meant for speedrunning. The movement in Warframe has gotten to the point that it's a minigame and something that rewards players. While I haven't gotten to combat yet, this movement system makes combat feel fluid. After killing an enemy, you can quickly switch focus to the next and cut them down. There isn't really downtime in the sense that you have to slowly walk or run to an enemy. You can just chain movement options together to close the gap quickly and resume the bloodshed. Now, remember when I said at base there are 10 forms of movement? Well, there's even more with certain Warframes. For example, there's Nova, who creates literal wormholes to teleport to a location of your choice instantly. There's Ash's aptly named, albeit bland, teleport ability, which teleports you to an enemy to gut them. There's Gauss, the embodiment of speed, who just runs so fast that you can be a race car. In open world areas like the plains of Eidolon, Fortuna, and Deimos, you can use Arcwings to fly around and cover ground even faster. This game is no joke when it comes to this stuff. If you want to go fast, there is always a way. Gotta Go Fast also extends into the combat of Warframe and is just as fluid and expressive as the movement. While the meta revolves around slaying out and just going in guns blazing, players can truly play in any possible way they want. And here's the important part, they can find success. Stealth has always been a part of the game, but the most popular way to play is to kill enemies through sheer force, ignoring the former. That doesn't mean that stealth is bad though. You can engage in it and still have very good kills per minute. Hell, some stealth builds are so good that they can go into endgame with no problem. What I'm saying is, Warframe has endless ways to play. Each Warframe has a unique way to play, and with 79 unique ones, excluding prime variants and specials, you are bound to find something that you like. The helmet system offers an even broader way to customize your Warframe, so you are nearly guaranteed to find something that perfectly fits your way to play. Of course, there will always be meta weapons, but the important thing is all weapons, Warframes, playstyles, and companions are viable. I can confidently say that you can go into the endgame with whatever you want, assuming you mod it out correctly, and find success. You can take the Stug, arguably one of the worst guns in the game, and make it somewhat good. Besides the way you can play, there are endless hours of combat encounters. Some mission examples are Sabotage, Spy, Exterminate, Interception, Defense, and Survival on various tile sets. The first 3 examples are one and done, meaning that once the objective is complete, you book it to extraction and fly back to your orbiter. The last 3 are endurance missions. These are super fun because you can decide when you want to stop torturing endless hordes of enemies. Interception, defense, and survival missions are considered endurance missions and widely regarded as the endgame due to the near infinite enemy level scaling. This is where you can test out your highest end gear. Or, this is your spoiler warning, you can try killing bosses in the open world, like in the plains of Eidolon during the night cycle, or the orbs in Fortuna. You can even fly a ship, or railjack. Let that sink in. You can fly a ship, board another ship to kill its captain, steal the ship, and repeat the process. There are so many ways to kill things, and so many things to kill, meaning that there are literal thousands of hours of playability. The true endgame in any MMO or even looter shooter is fashion. I love fashion, and Warframe does too, and it lets you dress up your killing machine in any way you like. There is a plethora of skins and color palettes you can choose from when customizing the look of your Warframe, and this is what I found most lacking in other games. For example, Destiny 2 employs shaders, preset color packages that you can apply to armor and weapons, and are 1. Not always representative of what they actually look like, and 2. Prevent players from truly customizing the appearance of their characters. Warframe doesn't really have this issue. The color system in this game goes by palettes, and you can color different parts of the Warframe individually. So you can just make your Rhino Prime all pink and cute, or you can go all out and make it look like a golden mech of death. It may take some getting used to, but that means you have unlimited freedom. I can't really think of any other game that comes this close to the level of Warframe's character customization other than Armored Core 6. The customization does not stop at the color of characters though, as there are various skins and attachments that you can add. Warframes have capes, called Syandanas, that can be independently shaded for even more flexibility. There are cosmetic armor slots for the shoulders, chest, and legs. There are emblems and badges that take up the torso and float above the shoulders. Ephemeras that can make your Warframe emit smoke, the list goes on. There are so many ways to make your Warframe look badass that there are entire videos dedicated to that. Don't forget that weapons have customization options too, but I think you guys get the point already. Warframe is free to play, and this is where some of the tension comes in for players. Like many free to play games, it offers a premium currency called Platinum, much like how Clash of Clans has gems. However, this does not mean that Warframe is pay to win. In fact, you can earn damn near anything you want in the game without spending a penny due to the trading system, but I'll loop back to that in a second. Platinum buys you certain Warframes, weapons, slots, and cosmetic items. Nothing you buy in the shop gives a player a massive advantage over another. In other words, nothing you can buy with store-bought Platinum will ever give you a combat advantage. This is where trading comes in, especially for the free-to-play community. It's really not too bad to get items that are worth trading with other players for Platinum. So if you wanted to buy a couple of weapon slots, you can farm for a coveted prime part, sell it for plat to another player, then use said plat to buy the slots from the shop. This monetization model is unique to Warframe and something that I saw myself missing in other games. The trading system is unique and always active, and there is literally no time where the trade chat is unresponsive. That being said, if you wanted to speed up your progress in the game, buying Platinum outright might help, but it's totally unnecessary. If anything, most plat is used to trade amongst players and not the shop. It's usually for rare mods, parts, or other items. You don't need to worry about things being behind a paywall with a few cosmetic exceptions. One of the best parts of Warframe, and actually the first thing that comes to mind for me, is the community. The community of Warframe is something insanely special. They are some of the kindest, most helpful strangers that I have ever met over the internet. That might sound weird, but just listen for a second. As a new player who was only 14 years old, yes, I know I shouldn't have been playing an M-rated game, I struggled to understand the mechanics. I asked for help in region chat and got a random to join me for missions that I needed help on. After helping me for about 30 minutes, he said that he had to go, but before he logged off, he brought me to his dojo and gave me a full Loki Prime set. For nothing. I tried to give him my Platinum, but he wouldn't accept it. My experience is not unique in the slightest. There are so many kind souls in this game that it astounds me. It's not uncommon to see players that are actively looking to help new Tenno. They're either carrying them through missions or giving them essential mods that will significantly help them in combat. Another part of the community that I absolutely adore is Tennogen. Warframe is one of the few games where the community directly contributes to the creation of cosmetic items. Sure, they cost real-world money, but that money supports the creators and the game. I find it so heartwarming to see good designs being put to use in a game like this. I left the story for last when it came to the positives because I personally forgot a lot of it after not playing for such a long time and because I didn't care about it at first. Granted, I was a literal child playing an adult game, but in retrospect, the story is well done and captivating after you get past a few hurdles. This is your spoiler warning, though I won't mention any story details directly, it's better to be safe. As I was saying, the story doesn't really kick off until you get to the second dream quest, and it's here where you get a sense of purpose for the game, and it hits hard. After watching this cutscene for the first time, I got chills, and the rest of the story continues to deliver. I really didn't know that the story would be so captivating. This holds true for releases after the second dream, and to this day, I feel like the lore is just as interesting as the gameplay. The first negative is the time investment / grind. If you're playing a looter shooter, you are aware of the constant grind you will be in. There's always a new Warframe to get, a new weapon to master, format to grind, equipment to level, you get it. The thing is, you can choose what you want to grind after a certain point because you don't need everything. The most annoying grind by far, especially for those who have nothing else to do, is that for ribbons. The amount of kuva necessary to get a good roll can be insane, and farming said kuva can be mind-numbing. Other parts of the game do require some time investment, but it's not really bad at all. Even crafting timers aren't too bad since they can be bypassed with effective plat trades. I find the game loop to be really enjoyable, especially when compared side by side to the likes of Destiny 2 or the Borderlands series. Just know that whatever you get in the game will require time investment, and depending on your RNG, you may be grinding for more than a little while. The new player experience is another negative, but who didn't see this coming? The new player experience in Warframe has been notoriously bad for years and has only recently started to improve. That isn't to say it's a deal breaker, but it is something that holds players back from logging back in. This is due to the complexity of the game the mod system, and everything that is thrown at you from the start. Now, I don't really have a problem consulting wikis or online guides for info, but new players might. When it comes to damage calculations and optimal setups, the game doesn't really give you much, but given all the resources online, this isn't a very big issue. I personally think that Warframe, with its constant updates and new additions, will continue to captivate me for thousands more hours. I love the game a lot, and a lot of my previous criticisms have since been fixed. Should you try out Warframe? Yeah. Should you get addicted like I did? No. Bring some friends, give it a go together, or better yet, have someone bring you in and show you the ropes. You won't regret it. As always, thank you for watching, and happy farming.